All right, so we just wrapped up episode 4 of Daredevil Born Again, Sic Semper Systema. Am I saying that correct?
I think so.
We'll get to overall thoughts real quick. Dan the Man. I'll say I liked it. Since the start of this, we've had two distinct main story threads. We have the Matt Murdock story and the Wilson Fisk story. So far, I might be in the minority here. The Fisk one, not super interesting for me. Not especially in an episode like this where just for me, when we jump to Fisk, that story it kind of deflates the momentum. So I would say I like this episode. It has two things in it that may be my favorite thing so far, but this is probably as a whole my least favorite episode of the four this
Interesting.
season. What are you thinking?
I like it. I liked it, I should say. It's not my least favorite. I think that it's like at the bottom and maybe my second least favorite, but I enjoyed it. And I think a main reason being is that, well, it was spoiled in the thumbnail that we ended up getting from Disney Plus. So thank you for spoiling the fact that we get freaking Frank Castle, who's revealed early on in this episode. And we were talking about this in the last breakdown, but I expected at the earliest we would see Frank at the end of this episode. And instead, they surprised us and hit us with that big surprise of him showing up early on. I liked it for that reason. It's not enough. It just gives us a little bit of taste, a little taste.
It
Even though
was
Kingpin was indulging on all of his tastes this episode.
he had a plate of I don't even know what it was, but I just saw like six giant sausages.
He's on the carnivore diet.
Have you noticed his meals have been getting bigger and bigger in these
Yeah,
episodes?
I wonder if they've been doing that on purpose. Do you think
Oh
that's
yeah,
purposeful?
it's gotta mean something. He's about ready
Yeah.
to start feasting on the city.
And that's where kind of where we're at right now. And I do enjoy Kingpin's storyline. It's like it is okay. But like at the same time, give me more Frank. I'm at that point right now where I'm not struggling with this because I do enjoy little glimmers of I don't know, symbolism and certain things. I do find this to be telling an interesting story. Something that seems to be, and I was going to bring this up to you. So, what we got with She-Hulk, this is on the serious version of She-Hulk, where we have an attorney, and where that show was like way over the top and silly or tried to be. This is more the like, um, almost Gotham-like vibes,
Mhm.
especially with what Muse is doing.
I think you and I probably agree the most memorable thing, Frank, Matt, one on one, because John Bernthal, he just brings like this really nasty energy
Oh
to
yeah.
this episode.
Visceral. It's just that beard, Bernthal beard energy.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I don't think he would be a good hang whatsoever. That dude is a broken mess,
Yeah.
but I love it so much.
I love to see it. No, he would be an awful hang. He would be one of those guys, especially he's pushing you to your limits all the time and he's getting you to just yell.
He has this moment that's like stuck with me, and he's talking about in the quiet moments. That's when he sees and hears his son, and his
Hmm.
son's voice tells him, "Get him, daddy," and that is so savage, and it's so cool,
Yeah.
even though he's so tormented.
Yeah.
Uh, I liked seeing those two back together, arguing and cursing at each other and
Oh yeah.
violently roughhousing each other. There was again this element though that we've seen that in the Netflix series, and this show so far has worked best when it operates as a sequel to the Netflix
Yeah.
series. And um,
Which is interesting because coming from someone who hasn't watched the Netflix series, and I'm seeing this, and I've had bits and pieces, I have enough that I can be like, oh yeah, I connect to this. It's interesting because we don't know the Frank backstory, even though I do. Like with this, you have those that of like, who is this? Like coming in, if you had no idea who the Punisher or Frank Castle is, period, I think
mhm.
this would be kind of a bad way of bringing him in.
Number two, I think on the highlight element or list. Tell me if you agree or disagree. Open and close with Muse. We're finally getting a better look at this sicko,
Yeah, I
and
would say so.
I think there's a very limited amount given in this episode of that character, but I think that's probably my favorite thing so far because I'm ready for that to ramp up.
And it also gets dark. Like in this case, it's as what I was saying about She-Hulk, we see this going into that mature rating for Disney Plus, and this is giving us something that's a little different for this kind of Marvel, the Feige Marvel, if you will, or Disney Marvel, whatever you want to call it. But it is something very different, and it makes me wonder how well will they venture into this alleyway
Hmm.
of just what we see with what Muse is doing. So for me, I'm like, oh, like I'm very interested. It's also eerie and a little scared. I wasn't scared, but it just
Oh,
like
it's creepy. His like
creepy. Yeah, that's the
little
best. Yeah,
underground layer and just his look
yeah,
is what it looks like in the comics, and is I think that was um, frightening might be an overstatement, but he's creepy. And I
creepy
can't,
and
I just like, I can't wait for that to really, like, I wonder what is going to get set into motion to bring Matt into that
yeah,
story and
yeah,
to start hunting this guy. I think the most interesting Fisk element right now is he's keeping his wife's former lover alive.
yeah.
He's in some sort of jail. And that's more messed up than just like flat out killing this dude.
It does bring again to us on the point of what we made in the last episode of when will Fisk flip and he goes completely berserk and we see him in this total rage that we're kind of slowly building up to. I think this is giving us yet another glimpse that, oh, he's still there and he's
Oh, yeah.
alive and well, but he's just trying to keep it at bay. But there's just like Frank, there's going to be something that sets him off, and I'm here for it.
I can't wait. And I talked, we know in this last episode that we predicted when Matt's girlfriend is going to die because I feel like they're really telegraphing it. And in this episode, somewhere late in the episode, he's with her and he says something along the lines of, "I can't imagine like my life without you," something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh man, babe, you're
Yeah.
about to get, you're not going to be
Yep.
around much longer."
Yeah.
So I think, and I'm kind of still leaning, I think Fisk is going to do it. He's going to realize who she is and his connection to her connection to Matt. Matt's going to be back in the suit and he's going to flip.
I could see that for sure.
I
Yeah.
think he's going to flip. So, final grade for episode 4.
Ooh. I would
Because
say
what did we do
this,
last week? About 3.5 to 4
yeah.
was episode 3 for us. I said 3.5. I think that's kind
Yeah.
of where we landed on.
Yeah. This may sound a little low, but I'd say about 2.5 to
Oh my
3.
goodness. I was going
Yeah.
to say 3.
I mean I feel like three might be pushing a little bit too. It's if I give it 2.5, it
Two and a
makes it
half
seem like
seems
I
too
don't
low.
like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel
And
like, and they planted some like ideas in this one, at least setting up, I think, two really exciting
true.
things.
And with Muse, yeah, all right, I'll lock in 3 because it to me like 2.5 just seems a little too low.
I think two, the Matt Frank interaction
Oh
alone
yeah,
was worth uh the price of admission, so to
for
speak.
sure.
Also, they can't find this bullet casing that killed White Tiger. Matt goes there one time. This blind dude who's literally like basically not blind 99% of the time. And he finds it instantly in the gutter. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I
we need
like
a
where it
Frank for
went,
that.
but come on.
We need, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens next week, episodes 5 and 6.